The sign that your sixth house cusp starts in tells you what you need from a daily routine and the potential health issues that may surface for you if out of alignment. So in today's video, I'm going to share everything you need to know about having your sixth house cusp start in the sign of Aries and how you can align to these energies for maximum vitality and daily life fulfillment. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we are talking about what it means to have your sixth house, aka your sixth house cusp, in the sign of Aries. In today's video specifically, I'm going to cover the traits of a sixth house cusp in Aries, the daily needs of a sixth house in Aries, and the potential health issues a sixth house in Aries may face. I will be talking about the signs of burnout for a sixth house cusp in Aries. This is starting off a mini series that I'm doing here on my YouTube channel, talking about hopefully the sixth house cusp through the signs. So please drop a comment down below. What is your sixth house cusp sign if it's not Aries for some reason watching this video, and I'll be sure to film that one next. But be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on those post notifications, and stay tuned for the further videos I make talking about the sixth house in each sign. And a lot of the information that I share today in regards to the sixth house cusp in Aries is going to be pulled from my sixth house workbook, where I walk people through how to align with their sixth house sign to gain maximum fulfillment in their daily rhythm and daily routine. Because frankly, I've discovered, and you're welcome to disagree with this, that our daily rhythm is one of the most important things in our life. It make or breaks our health and life fulfillment. And our sixth house actually not only comes into account with our daily work and daily rhythm, but it dictates where we should live, who we can live with, and how we should work in our overall life, and so much more. So if you want to understand how to use this information that I'm going to share with you in practical alignment to live a more fulfilling life, I invite you to check out the sixth house cusp workbook down in the description box below, where I walk you through in worksheets, checklists, journal prompts, information, how to align with your sixth house in Aries. The link is in the description box below. And of course, you can book a reading if you want to go deeper into your soul's unique energetic imprint. So with that out of the way, let's get into this sixth house cusp in Aries. First, starting off with the general traits you may have as someone who has a sixth house cusp in Aries. With your sixth house starting in the sign of Aries, these are the people who tend to take on a lot of challenges in their daily life. As the sixth house tells us all about what we want from a daily rhythm, how we move about our daily life, what we need from a daily routine, how we interact with work, the sixth house cusp in Aries, or for better simplistic explanation, sixth house in Aries, because saying the word cusp is a tongue twister, tends to be very intense in their daily life. These are the people who tend to overfill their plates and want to get a lot of things done within their day. These are the people who don't mind a bit of challenge in their daily life, and oftentimes can be drawn to daily health habits such as intense morning routines for a sense of fulfillment. These tend to be very straightforward people in how they move about their life. In example, I am filming actually at my sister's desk right now, and she has a sixth house cusp in Aries. And I can tell you, I'm looking at 10 different notes of all the things she wants to get done. A sixth house cusp in Aries has a natural tendency to focus on what am I gonna do today, which is more so a trait that all of modern day society faces, where we have to think of things in forms of task. But a sixth house cusp in Aries naturally thinks about their day more so than most in terms of how much can I get done. And they tend to be most fulfilled at the end of the day when they get a lot done. So overall, the traits of a sixth house in Aries, you may find that if you have this placement, you want to have a feeling of I'm challenging myself every day. You may have a tendency to overfill your plate and do intense things. Or simply put, you may find that you get bored easily if you don't have some form of challenge that you're looking forward to. The sixth house cusp in Aries also, I will say, may feel like they want more independence in their daily rhythm than most, because their mentality is, let me do me, you do you, and then we'll meet at the end of the day once I've checked off everything that I want to do. So there's an aura of independence that they take to their daily life as a sixth house cusp in Aries, potentially. Please let me know down in the comments below, did any of this interpretation resonate for you? If it didn't, maybe you're unfulfilled. Maybe you're finding that you're not feeling this sense of vitality in your life, and that is because you're not meeting your needs as a sixth house cusp in Aries. So now let's get into what exactly you need from a daily rhythm and routine based off of being a sixth house in Aries. Because the sign in our sixth house tells us what we need from a daily rhythm, a sixth house in Aries needs a feeling of challenge and or independence and intensity in their daily routine. Across the board, what I have noticed the most from 90%, I will say, of sixth house in Aries that I have met is that they need to feel like they wake up and know, what is my challenge? A sixth house in Aries needs to feel like every day they have something that is challenging them, whether that is physically, mentally, or something else entirely. They need to feel like they have a challenge. So for some people, like my sister whose desk I'm working at, her ideal form of challenge is climbing mountains every day, or rock climbing, or doing some sort of crazy physical activity. Whereas I have met other sixth house in Aries, like my clients that I work with, who just want to feel like they're on the go. They want to wake up and check off their to-do list and drive across town to go to their job. They need to feel like they're in pursuit. Think of the ram charging things head on. It's almost like, this is how I was raised. I think of a sixth house in Aries as like a diesel engine. Once it gets turned on, it wants to go. That's at least what I was raised with, living on the road and driving diesel trucks all the time. Is the car's turned on, it just wants to keep going. It gets warm, it wants to keep going. And so I think a sixth house in Aries has a very similar energy where they want to wake up and they want to go. And so a sixth house cusp in Aries really needs a lot of challenge in their life, whether that's through physical movement or mental activity. It's really important for these people as well to have independence because, like I said in my earlier segment, these people need to feel a sense that they are in control of their lives. Their motto is, I do me, you do you. So a sixth house cusp in Aries oftentimes may find themselves feeling depleted, drained, or not excited to get up if they feel like they're living their day in accordance to others. Oftentimes, I do notice that a sixth house cusp in Aries finds it very hard to work a job where they're working underneath someone every day, which is the case for a lot of people, but because they have to follow other people's orders. If they're not getting to make their own schedule, clock in at the time they choose, or accomplish their task list in the way they want to, they can find that they're very frustrated in their lives. Frustration is oftentimes a very big manifestation for the sixth house cusp in Aries because this is anger. Fire signs are anger, frustration, bitterness. A sixth house cusp in Aries may also need a bit of competition because they want a challenge. So these people may do better that when they cross over with other people, that they are competing to some degree. So overall, a sixth house cusp in Aries, in your daily life, you need to have this sense of, I'm challenging myself, I'm moving myself forward, I'm on the go, I'm independent, and I maybe even have a bit of competition. Regardless, the sixth house cusp in Aries craves a feeling of intensity in their daily routine. And intensity can be relative for you. Maybe intensity for you is just one small little HIIT workout, or maybe just driving in freeway traffic every day, based off of what your dose of intensity is, based off of your life experience. But nonetheless, I do think this is something that every sixth house in Aries needs. So arguably, these are the things a sixth house cusp in Aries needs. Not only does our sixth house tell us what we need from a daily routine, it also shows us what our potential physical health issues can be, because the sixth house has a lot to do with our physical health. And when we don't have our daily rhythm needs met, they can show up as these signs of burnout or misalignment. So I'm going to share a list with you of things that a potential health issues that a sixth house cusp in Aries may experience, which in the end is all going to come back to the fact that a sixth house in Aries is associated with the head and the face. So a lot of these signs of misalignment are going to come from this fact. So oftentimes a sixth house cusp in Aries who's imbalanced can experience migraines, headaches, chronic head tension, or maybe even facial issues, which I would describe as maybe we could say acne flaring, so to say. Additionally though, the other end of the spectrum of this, given just what I've noticed from sixth house cusps in Aries, is that they maybe feel the opposite end. When they are underdoing it, they feel lack of motivation, lack of energy, lack of mental clarity. They can't get into the right headspace. These are two ends of the spectrum that you can experience as a sixth house cusp in Aries. I do want to disclaim to better explain this point of potential health issues you may face as a sixth house cusp in Aries is that our sixth house, yes, needs fulfillment based off of the traits I've described for you, but it needs to be in balance. If your life is 110% challenge, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be fulfilled as a sixth house in Aries, because maybe your moon sign is in a water sign and you need nurturance every day and support. Maybe your Mars is in an air sign and you need lighthearted social interaction. Our sixth house tells us what our day needs to feel like, but of course in moderation. So a sixth house cusp in Aries does need challenge, but challenge in moderation. If you're finding that you're experiencing headaches, migraines, head tension, or maybe any sort of, I would say pain specifically in the head, this can be a sign that you're overdoing it, I would say, as a sixth house in Aries. Now, if you're finding on the other end that you have lack of energy, if you are finding yourself feeling frustrated and angry, but bored and unable to do anything, if you're finding yourself feeling a lack of motivation or you can't get into the right headspace, a lack of mental focus or energy, this is a sign that you don't have enough of this intensity in your life. So if any of this resonated for you and you're thinking to yourself, I think I need more refinement for my sixth house energy, if you want to learn more on how to incorporate your sixth house in Aries into your life now without having to necessarily change your lifestyle completely, then I invite you to check out my sixth house workbook down in the description box below, where I give each sixth house sign their quick start guide and in-depth guide to how to align to your sixth house sign. So if you're a sixth house in Aries who wants to get ideas on how to incorporate more healthy challenge in your life, if you want a checklist to know when you are burnt out or stressed, and if you want to understand more completely how to exactly align with your sixth house in Aries, the sixth house workbook is meant to help you with that, and it's down in the description box down below. So let me know too down in the comments below, did this resonate for you as a sixth house in Aries? Do you have any planets in the sixth house in Aries? Do you have any planets in the sixth house but in a different sign? Do you find that you feel this oftentimes a contradiction between what you want? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars and more. Again, let me know what sixth house sign you're interested about hearing about next, and I'll be sure to film that very shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name is Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.